Welcome back to another live session from Forex Trading Wizard Academy for the NY session. After London session, we are on NY session and looking forward to see some trade setup this session potentially to see how the market is doing here at the moment. We have seen that after the London session, there was a significant trend. And coming up in in 2 hours time also ISM service PMI, another high impact news coming up. Let's see what is happening in the market at the moment, and I'm going to do full analysis as well as trade setup. Any trade coming also will be looking to enter. I'm going to look at Xauusd as well as with all of you together. Also any currency pairs, potentially Gbpjpy currently in a pullback, and we might see a potential setup on GJ, dollar yen or euro dollar. I'm going to look at also those currencies. Gbpjpy also potentially giving us an entry here. We can see this market is currently in a pullback. This is the daily high here, and in this analysis let's create two important windows so that we can keep both Gbpjpy and Xauusd both on the watch list. Now gold is on the support level. We can see that gold from this resistance has made significant movement, and in this movement that we can see on gold, we can see the market here from this support level. We have seen there is a drop to that daily low, and now is the market going back to the upside or it's gonna drop again? This is a very important question that we will be looking at in this live session, and to trade that we must answer first this vitally important question. I hope that the stream started well. I just need a feedback, guys. You can hear me and see me, and like to say that the chat is loading well. So would you mind giving a feedback on the chat that you can hear me? The stream is being broadcasted well so that we can begin the full multi-time frame analysis. Omar, welcome. Let's begin this session here. So welcome. Let's look at first of all starting with the gold and starting with daily chart to see overall picture in this market. Now looking at daily here on gold, as daily is higher time frame, and we're looking at the higher time frame, which is absolutely important that we can look for the overall picture in this market. If you look at here on the daily, we can see that this is the daily price action. From here there is a breakout on the daily, and with this daily bounce, the reason I'm looking at daily is because daily time frame is where the market has made its move back to the upside on the daily, and the overall picture in this market is bullish. Currently the market on a pullback here. So looking at the weekly is also important here to look at here. This is the weekly market. This is the weekly support, and the weekly level is very important. Is the weekly support level here. Looking at the monthly, we can say that from the monthly time frame, series of higher low here. This is a very interesting monthly price action. You can see it's a smooth support has created on the monthly time frame. And with this monthly support that you can see, the market has made its move back to the upside from this monthly level, which is an important monthly area of value. Now from this monthly support, we can see the market has created a higher low and then reverted back to the upside with this momentum here on the monthly. Currently, after creating a 50% pullback, around more than 50% of this previous monthly long week, the price again started to move back down here. And this is current monthly trend line here. And with this monthly trend line that you can see on gold, it's an important support on the monthly. And from this monthly support here, we have seen that initial bounce back to the upside in this market. And in that monthly bounce, we can see the price has done more than 50% pullback with the previous monthly long week. Now it's pushing back again below here. Now that drop that we can see on gold, is this coming down here to break this low, or you'll see another bounce back again to the upside? Let's look at the weekly perspective here. What I think that the market may break this weekly low and then reject back again to the upside, or even coming little further below, breaking that low and then rejecting back again to the upside here. That could be the potentially a move in this market. Looking at daily, where the daily low is here, that you can see 3345 level on the daily, which is the weekly low as well. And from this weekly and daily low, the market may possibly break the low, and that's where we might be able to find potential entry in this market. So that being said, on the daily chart, the price may cross this low here and then to revert back to the upside with this market. So looking at if you look at the 4 hour here, we are dropping down to the lower time frame. Multi-time frame is key here that we discuss more often, that we have to look at the bigger picture and then slowly coming down to the smaller picture. And looking at the smaller picture, that looking at the 15-minute chart here on gold, we can see that lower time frame. We are on the very lower time frame here. This is the previous swing low, which is the support level. And you can see here, previous session, the market has crossed this high here. And from that key level, the price started to drop back down. And that drop, we might see the price to potentially come back well below here to this support level. And this support is the daily low. If the market is coming down, we might see the price to potentially bounce back. Do you think that the market is going to test this low, or what's your opinion in that? Share your thought also as well here, guys. Do you think that gold is going to break this daily low? This is the previous daily low, because it's a bull market, or it's gonna move from here to the upside or completely breaking below? So there are a couple of levels that you can see. The previous daily low is 3344 level is the previous daily low, and so far the price at 3354, so which is around 80 pip still remaining the gap, almost 100 pips. So it's crucially important for us to see that the market is either filling that gap or bouncing back to the upside. So to find an entry, to enter the trade, we need to look at that the market is potentially bouncing or reversing back from here, or coming down here to this support. So what's your thought on that? Let me ask with a Q&A. So what's your thought on this gold? Do you think that gold is going to drop to the previous daily support? Now, if the market is dropping to the daily support, the previous daily low, we will see that there is a fair value gap. Where is this fair value gap? Let's understand it, where it is. Now, understanding fair value gap also will give you a better understanding about how the market is moving. Now here is, so in fact, to know fair value gap, also it is important to know that why the fair value gap happens. Where is the reason for, what is the reason for this fair value gap, and in fact what is the advantage of knowing fair value gap. That's also an important zone that we need to look at. So if you look at this one here, you can see this is a gap, support, and there is a gap here. So this is where we can see that fair value gap. Okay, now you can see this is a fair value gap, and in that fair value gap, the market potentially coming back here, fill that zone in between this swing high and this zone, or we could see the market is still left that imbalance and then move back to the upside here. So to understand, either the market will break below further or bounce, also we need to know that, or we need to understand if the market is filling that gap. From the price action we can understand it. So that being said, now we have seen from the lower time frame what could see in the market in this session for potentially either to come down here to fill that fair value gap, or from this support level the market to bounce, as it's now just slowly getting the rejection from the 4-hour 20 EMA. So looking at here in this lower time frame, what we can see, the market slowly trying to build that pressure back to the upside. Is still in this lower time frame, it's showing that downtrending market structure. Now that downtrend, where you can see that the market to potentially come back here, break this 3344 or this 3345 level in this zone here on XAUUSD. Now looking at here on the 1-hour chart and the lower time frame, expecting the market to come down here to this support level. Looking at the 4-hour and the lower time frame, in this area, so here is the, if you look at 15 minutes, the market is slowly pushing back to the upside, and so we've got some feedback here. All good. Welcome. I think first we'll go up to 3362 zone, and then we'll see 3362 zone. The first is going to 3362 zone, and then coming back below. Gold start uptrend from current areas. So two different opinions. So what we can see as from the first opinion, that gold is going to go to the 3362 level and then coming down. So the reason I think you're thinking 3362 is because of the 4-hour resistance that you can see here, right? So if it is 4-hour resistance, 3362 level, where here is from this level going to the 3362 level, and so you can see the market is slowly moving here in that area, 3362 level, and nearly to the 3360. Here is the 15 minutes 20 EMA. The price is approaching that zone, and locally it's on a downtrend. You can see the price is approaching this the resistance line. It's rejecting from a very important support level on the 4-hour that you can see. The market is slowly rejecting from this important support level. And as the market is rejecting from this important support level, is approaching this 4-hour resistance line, which is in fact an important zone here, 336162 level. So once the market is able to break that high, we can expect a drop back to this again, as it's a falling market on the lower time frame. And from the 1 hour that you can see, the market is approaching this level. From 30 minutes here, that the market is moving in the same direction where there is a high liquidity. And as one single move that you can see, here is the impulse on the 30 minutes. Multi-time frame is very important to look at. This is the 30 minutes price action. The price has dropped to that level, moving back to the upside here. And this is the previous swing low, which is the support, which is the previous swing low here, support, turn resistance in this area. And as the support is turning resistance here in this lower time frame, we can see the market is bouncing back to the upside, where is also the 30 minutes 20 EMA in this area. And as the market is approaching that 30 minutes 20 EMA, which is the previous support turn resistance in that area, what we can expect here, this market to potentially test there, and then to test this support turn resistance, and then reject back again to the downside here in this market. So this move that we can see here in this area, that if the price is absolutely going back to that level, we will be able to see the market to turn back down here in this zone. Now for an entry, as locally we can see the downtrending market structure. If one single move back to the upside to this support turn resistance, if the market is testing this support as a resistance, in that zone we will be looking for sell in this market. Looking at the 30 minutes and the higher time frame, we can see the price is slowly pushing back to the upside here. And this is where also the 30 minutes 20 EMA, which is an important key level, and also the 1 hour 20 EMA. And from this head and shoulder, if we look at the 1 hour, we can see a large head and shoulder formation. This is the left shoulder head and the right shoulder. It's a large head and shoulder on the 1 minute 1 hour chart. The market has dropped to that support from this head and shoulder. Now the price is going back up to that neckline of that head and shoulder. Now if this market is being able to retest that and then getting the rejection, that's where we will be able to see the market to potentially continue to drop here to this support level. This is what we're waiting to see, how the price might be reacting to that level. And once we see it has tested that support as a resistance and getting the rejection, we can look for an entry for this potential move in this market. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Do you think? Leave a comment in the live chat and let us know what instrument you are looking at. Along with Xauusd, also looking at Gbpjpy. Now Gbpjpy, if you look at, it's a downtrending market structure on GJ, and this is important level of resistance here on Gbpjpy. From here there is a move back to the upside to this level on GJ. This is 20 EMA on the 4 hour time frame on Gbpjpy. And if in the next 30 minutes on GJ going back up to hit that previous resistance line, which is along with the 4 hour 20 EMA, we will be looking for potential sell on GJ on the lower time frame. As Gbpjpy, that we can see, it is in fact in a downtrend, and this is the daily high here on GJ. If you look at here, you can see that the previous daily high, it's a strong drop here, and with this drop the market now moving back to that resistance line, and from the resistance, if the price is going to hit that level, if the price is going to hit that previous resistance, penetrating that to the upside, coming down here to this support, we can look for sell in that market on Gbpjpy. Welcome back to this live session. Now here is from the gold perspective. So GJ, here is our potential zone that we are looking at. If in the next 30 minutes going back up here, we will be looking to enter sell in that zone. On the other hand, we will be looking to see if this 4 hour not going to hit that key level. If this 4 hour not hitting that important level of resistance, we will be looking to see the new market structure on Gbpjpy. But if the current candle going to hit that level, we will be looking to sell. Now why that way that we will be looking at is because if you look at here, it's one single move back to the upside, and that's a daily high, daily resistance, which is an important level. So daily resistance, the previous daily high, is very important in terms of this downtrend, and the market, if it is going to hit that level with a bigger ATR move on a single move, we can look for sell in that area. Simple strategy. Now here is on gold, we can see the market is pushing back to the upside as we expected. Here is the previous liquidity zone. As the market moves from liquidity to liquidity, we can see from here it is potentially moving back to the liquidity zone, and from the liquidity zone expecting the market to come back here to this support level. 4 hour chart here on gold, from this zone getting that stronger reaction from this support. Now if the market is not getting that rejection back, we may still see that the price is continuing back to the upside to the daily resistance line. And that is why it is so important for us to see that the market is showing that reaction back again. Now on the 15 minutes, the price either testing this support here as a resistance, or we could see the market to even go back to this liquidity zone. The price already have overextended to the upside in terms of this local downtrend. In terms of local uptrend or the global uptrend, that from the bigger picture, it's on a bullish trend. So which one is going to play out, either to the major trend, the price is going back, or still maintaining that local downtrend, will determine by the price action here in that area how the price might be forming in this zone. Welcome back to this live session here. Now here is we can see there's a crossover of 10 and 20 EMA. So it can still be an uptrend again, okay? Because the market trend, as we discussed, the long-term trend is bullish. So because long-term trend is bullish, we could see at any point in time this market is merging to the major direction of the trend. The major trend here is bullish, right? So which is the daily trend. And at the same time, if you look at the daily chart here, looking at daily chart is important. If this market in this single move also going back to the daily resistance line, which is the daily level here, from this level, still we can expect another rejection back below to this support level. There are many possibilities of how the market might move in this short period of time. The most important part here, guys, is to look at how the price action or the market is going to react to the certain key areas. The market in essence is very, very chaotic. If you look at the bigger picture here, you see that it in fact react in a very, very different way. More often you see that it's gonna go up, down, and finding a real direction of the trend sometimes very, very difficult until you see that how the candlestick pattern is being formed. The health of the candle is very important. Is this smaller, narrow candles, or they are bigger, healthy candle? When you see that the market is forming bigger, healthy, big candle, that's where we could see the market in fact potentially moving in that direction, because it has volume in it, it has liquidity. So this is the 5 minutes price action. On gold, we can see that it has crossed from this 10 and 20 EMA and then started to reject back again to the upside here in this market. So this is a neckline of this previous support, which is turning resistance in that area. So locally we can see the market is still showing back to the upside in that area. and there is a fair value gap here again in this lower time frame. If the market is going back to that level here, we can look for entry. Until we see the price action confirmation, we need to be patient here for an entry. From the 15 minutes here, we can see that bounce, and it's on 3365 level at the moment, and also approaching the daily resistance. I'm going to delete those non-essential lines to see how the market is potentially forming here. Here is from this level, you can see the market is pushing back to the upside here. And it's pushing back again to the upside here. So from this support, we saw that bounce here, and that bounce, the market is pushing back to the upside to that level where there is an important zone. We'll be waiting to see how the market is forming in that area, as what we can see that in this area, as after this crossover of 10 and 20 EMA, the price is now trying to push in a sideways. This is a key resistance line. We are looking at the 5 minutes for any potential entry. The market, after this retest support term resistance, we may be able to see the market to turn back here and in this zone here to this support level. And looking at 15 minutes, one single move that you can see, a candle closing in 1 minute 40 seconds. So as the price is hit that key level, to see if the market is coming back again or pushing back to the upside here to the daily high is also crucial. If this price is moving directly back to this daily resistance with one single move, that means one single impulse from this level, we may be able to see the market again turn back down to this support level. And that's what we are looking to see, if the market is coming back and turning back down here to this support level. Now to sell for a sell entry, this key level is important because there is an order block here. This is the 15 minutes order block that you can see in this area, and that 15 minutes order block that you are seeing, the market tested this. Okay, so which is an important 15 minutes order block, and in that 15 minutes order block that you are seeing here in this market, which is a narrow green candle, which is also the daily important resistance line here. And that is what I'm looking at the moment. If the market is going to hit that level, which could see, it's going to be an important milestone here for the price to look at, to get a potential rejection back again below in that zone, as this is the daily level of resistance here that you can see. And it's a daily important resistance line where we may see the price to go ahead and hit that level. We see from here this move back to the upside. Yeah, this is the daily order. This is a 15 minutes order block, and also the important daily resistance line that might be going ahead and hit that level, and then potentially rejecting back again to this support level. Now here is a narrow doji formation on the lower time frame. And in the narrow doji, price is slowly trying to build that pressure back to the upside here. Maybe more drop. Here is currently the price is in a very important support and resistance. Extending to the upside will be an important zone that we can look for potential rejection back again. Because so far, if you look at the daily open, once the market opened daily, we have seen the price has initially bounced to 86 pip to the upside, and downside we have seen 235 pip drop in this market. So the initial drop on the daily open, the market has dropped below a lot in comparison with the high, and daily trend is up that you can see, as the market already has made a downside momentum early. Guys, this is very vital information, because if you look at the market in terms of daily price action, you'll see that more often the price will move in the direction already it has made its initial move. Okay, so this is a very important, because once the market open on the daily, it will make its initial move in one direction. Once it move its initial move in one direction and the market come back again to the position where it started or has broken that zone, it's highly likely revisit that area again, revisit that zone again, or revisit that level again. And that is where the trading opportunity. Now, because the market already, this is a daily trend, it has significant bullish momentum early to the upside, and currently after this daily bounce to the upside, today once the market open tested the high. So it's not that the market as soon as open it dropped, it first bounced to the upside here, tested the high here, and now it didn't break this previous daily low as well. So we need to note that down, very important point. So it didn't break the previous daily low here, and because it didn't break the previous daily low, it didn't grab a very high liquidity in that area. So without breaking this low in today's price, tomorrow could be a different price action, but today's candle that you can see in terms of daily, it's less likely that the price will be able to break today's high without breaking the today's low, as it already has shown that bearish pressure early. Therefore, once the market is being able to bounce to this level, today there is a chance for another break again in the direction of the trend. So that being said, on the 15 minutes, the market is in fact started to move back again to the upside to this level. We'll be watching the price action. Well, you can see that Gbpjpy that we're looking at is currently heading back to the upside again on the 4-hour chart. And if this 4-hour candle is closing on Gbpjpy as a green candle, that means that bullish candle, even without breaking this high, we might see next one also potentially to remain bullish for this move, and it may later reject back again. So today's level that we will be looking at on Gbpjpy to potentially break 196.50 level, and breaking that high 196.50 level, if you look at on Gbpjpy here, 196.50 level, break of this high can give us a selling opportunity here on Gbpjpy. Welcome, and now so we are going back to gold again, while Gbpjpy is pulling back to the upside for a pullback. Looking at gold here, we can see that gold market from this support level is again trending back to the upside here to this key level, where support turning resistance here in that area. Now it's slowly pushing back to the upside, and that being said, here on the lower time frame, it's a one single move, and that move back to this daily level, which is support turn resistance, and now it's showing that bullish move. 15 minutes price action, let it move back to the upside here, and we are exactly to the daily resistance. If we draw the zone that we need to look for a price action confirmation, this zone is where there is a previous order block, and in terms of, if we look an entry, we will be using the 15 minutes ATR for stop loss. So this is a 15 minutes chart, and 40 pip is 15 minutes 1 ATR. So if the market is coming with this same single move here, 3371, if the market is coming to 3371 with the same one single move in this zone here with 66 pips stop loss, we will be looking into the entry. But we need to see the market first going back to hit that level. That's where the entry, as if this single move going back to 3371, which is basically the price is directly hitting that daily resistance and also the 15 minutes time frame, the order block here in that area, because from that zone here the market has made its move back below to this support level, and that's an order block. And in that order block, the price potentially going back to hit that level. And if the price is going to hit that order block, we'll be looking into the entry. And in the past also we saw that this level was quite important. If you look at here, you can see in our London session live that you were here, we saw that how the market is reacted to that level, because what happened in the past is likely to happen in the future, right? So because this is how the traders think, this is the thinking, all this thinking created this market, right? In this is what you can apply in any areas, even in our thinking. If you look at the human thinking, like according to science, 90% think what we think is repetitive, right? Because it's a pattern, it's like a loop coming. What we thought today, 9 out of 10 is thinking tomorrow the same, and then the same, and then the same, in the past also same. And that's why we see that we recreate the past over and over again, because we don't think differently in a different day. So if you want to change your life completely, then you need to change your thinking completely. So to understand what you are thinking every day, sometimes it's hard because we don't pay attention to our thinking. How can you pay attention to your thinking if 70,000 thought in a day? Isn't it? It's so hard to understand what we are thinking on an unconscious level. Then How do you spot that thinking pattern, what you are thinking? It's very hard, but you can spot that by looking at your actions, your results will speak, because they are interrelated. So if you want to change that pattern of thinking, to change the outcome, then you need to be consciously thinking. Thinking is where the first step is the easiest, because sometimes taking action is difficult, right? It's hard to take action, because you need motivation, you need understanding, you need to know what you want, how you wanna be proceed. But thinking is easy if you know how to think and plan that thinking. The rest become easy, because everything starts from there. So it's really important. And the market is created by thinking, right? And that's the pattern that you can see. The market is going back there, is where we can expect the market to have that rejection, because this is what happened in the past. This is where the traders were interested to sell the market. That's why it made this big move back to this support. And the market now in the same level, in the same thinking level, so same kind of results potentially to come up. Not always, but more often. And that's what we need. We don't need always, we need more often. Alright, so let's look at now in the 4-hour chart. We can see the market from this support level getting that rejection back to the upside here, and looking at 15 minutes again, waiting for the market to potentially go to 3371 level, hitting that zone, grabbing the liquidity, and then rejecting back again to the support level. Welcome. And if I look at the 5 minutes here, you can see that in all time frame, the market, the structure is showing up to be consistently back to the upside here, to this daily resistance line, also the 15 minutes liquidity zone. Here I'm going to place a pending order, right? So as I have already explained why I'm placing the pending order, I hope that you guys understood it. We'll be explaining more here. Now the pending order here I'm going to place at 3371, which is an order block, and stop loss just at this level or a little bit higher than that. This is an order block, and placing a sell stop here, not sell stop, sell limit to this level. So it's a sell limit. That means after trigger, we would like to see the market is dropping down. So sell limit, not sell stop. We more often place sell stop. So please don't get confused on that. I know sometimes it's confusing. Sell limit at 3370.98. Must be properly risk managed, which is very important. 3370.98. Stop loss at 3378.03 and TP at 3352.10. Here is expecting the market to move back here for a potential entry to this daily resistance line. So the stop loss here is around 70 pip for this potential drop with very tight risk. And I have already discussed quite a few times. We will keep discussing. First, let's wait for the entry. It's a sell limit. That means the market is going here, hitting that level, triggering the trade, expecting it to come back down here. And this is where the order block. So even with 100 pip, we can take the profit if the market get that rejection from that level. Welcome back to this session. I hope that you guys are ready for potential trading week. Welcome. And also in 1 hour time, we see there's a 1 hour candle close here on gold. And in an hour also coming up, another important news, which is ISM service PMI. And in that news also expecting that gold to move a lot, as it's a dollar news, which is an important news announcement coming up. We are seeing the market slowly trying to pull back in this area. And here's the move back to the upside. Okay, looking at also Gbpjpy while we place this pending order here on gold. Gbpjpy 4 hour closed here, and we can see the market has closed with a long wick also at the top. And today's price, if we look at on Gbpjpy, we can see that after this daily close, the market from this support level started to move back to the upside here. It's approaching this 196.50 level or 52 level, and approaching that key level on GJ, touching that key resistance line is where we would like to see the market is going to hit that, and then coming back down here on GJ. And this is where the market is from this support level, getting that rejection back to the upside on GJ. If you look at the daily here, you can see the market is approaching that daily level. There is a previous daily support here, term resistance, and also this is the previous daily high. Crossing that high is where there is a fair value gap. If the market managed to break that high, especially crossing 335 196.53 level, is we can look for the 15 minutes or the lower time frame for an entry opportunity in GJ. Here is the 15 minutes chart on gold, which approaching that that order block here, which is approaching the daily level and heading back to that level. We place the sell limit here on gold, and also I've shared the same trade in the group as well. If you guys are following the group, you'll be able to see that entry. The previous one that we have closed during the London session time also from here was 54p profit target hit. We have secured that profit. You guys have seen the trade also. Now this is the second one waiting for an entry. The previous one was a market order, worked out very well, is because of the directional trend, as after cross of this intraday level that we have entered that position in the previous session that you guys have seen that. And here is the 15 minutes move on Xauusd. That move could potentially be heading back to the upside here, where there's a narrow smaller candle support down resistance in this area. Welcome. All right, so we can see from this support is still keep pushing back to the upside to this order block, approaching the order block, and from this order block would like to see the market to return again back to this support level. It's almost nearly there, and that one single move going back to this order block is an important zone on the daily. If we look at, you can see it's a daily resistance as well. From here, price is approaching that level. Welcome. Seems good down. Cool down going up. We see that the market is approaching that upside here. Our entry as sell limit, and it's a bull market that you can see here, but the price is approaching, if you look at here, it's an order block, and if the next candle is going up, we have a space here that we can expect a rejection certain level here, and that's what our target here for the market to return back again. Now with the entry, once the market potentially reject, then we can expect it to take around 100 pip or at least more than that. We have target here based on how the market structure is evolving, though we will keep this trade pending order on before the news, and I hope that before the news you will be able to see either the trade is triggered or we have seen the market reverse without triggering, or maybe triggered and going back to the upside. But before the news, we have to see the trade happen. I think the market is approaching that entry now, nearly there. So we have the market is approaching that level. We can see one single move back to the upside here. Okay, so here is the one single move that we can see in this market, and the price is nearing to that level. Now it is possible for the market to even reach 3375 level as an extension. Our order block is here, so we have placed the entry a little earlier, as the market may just get a rejection from here or could travel back to create a higher high and then could come back down to the support level. Or if it is an unusual reversal back again, that could be a different price action that you might see. And coming up in 40 minutes, dollar ISM service PMI. If you guys looked at the calendar is here, so you can see this is calendar where 12 p.m. coming in my zone, which is in 12 p.m. it's gonna be 6th August, ISM service PMI, and that's an important a news high impact coming up in few minutes. I hope that guys you are enjoying the live session. Make sure you like this stream. If you like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet, and share your thought and opinion in the live chat. Keep it rolling, guys. Give some knock in the live chat so that it keeps rolling. We are connected all at the same time. Am I right? Thanks for your effort to the channel to help is growing. Thank you. Absolutely appreciate. Market bullish or bearish? That's a very good question, right? So let's ask it as a poll. I'm going to start a poll here. What do you think? I'm posting as a poll, and let us know what do you think on the market. Guys, make sure you cast a vote here to see what do you think. Most members, most subscribers, most traders. What's your opinion about the market? Is it bullish or bearish? I see that a couple of bots, all of them saying bullish. Okay, here is the market nearly there to our entry, and This is where the price is approaching that key level. Daily resistance line is here. So our entry at 33. What did I put? How the my entry at 3370.98. That means sell limit. Bearish. Okay. Okay, so we got 10 votes. Give it more. And 50-50 with this so far. It's getting down on bullish. Okay. Here is moving back to this key level. This is support on resistance. Exactly in that point we have placed the entry, and let's keep moving back to the upside here. We are nearing our entry. So the entry here is to this previous order block on the 15 minutes nearing, and we might get that trigger very soon on gold. And it's a key level. We see that this is a very one sharp bounce back to the upside, and there will be 30 minutes close also coming. So we are nearing to the entry. I'm triggered with the trade. It's active now. So you're running sell trade on gold, and it's running at the moment. It's getting some rejection back below. All right, so 5 minutes also a very large move that you can see in that order block. So I am on with this trade, and now we need to look at where we will be, how we will be managing the trade. It's on now at the moment, and on Gbpjpy that you can see in the same way the candle open and is trying to push back to the upside. In the similar way, if we see that GJ also showing the same kind of price action. Also, we'll be looking for an entry on Gbpjpy. Once we see the market is managing to go back another 40 to 50 pip up, we'll be looking into the entry in that instrument as well here. All right, cool guys, we can see that gold trade is on and expecting to break below, though we see that local uptrend here, and it's a one single move back to the upside. This is current 1 hour level, which is 3367. The trend on gold here, we see that there are some bullish price action here in that area, and on this lower time frame. The trade is running on gold and waiting for a potential rejection from that high. Now it's on the daily order block. Okay, we see some gain in this market. There's a 15 minutes closed. Running in profit at the moment. And all right, so here we are running in profit and we see some rejection as expected. I'm going to let you know guys how I will be managing. And here this 5 minutes price action that you can see, pretty sharp bounce here to the upside. It's trying to move back again to the major direction of the trend here. Come on, there is a bounce on the 15 minutes. So we see that from the daily resistance, the market is trying to move back further to the upside for deeper pullback, and all right, so wanting to see that it's getting the rejection. The price is almost to the daily resistance line here. This is the daily resistance that you can see, and so the previous session's high is broken, and so from the 4 hour that you can see, the price in fact has made a bounce now. It might, if it breaks the daily high, we might see the price to potentially test the daily high here. Okay, so the price is in fact had a very strong break to the upside. It's almost to the daily resistance. and as you can see, the price started to push back to the upside. I think the price now potentially crossed this daily high, and we are out with this trade. This is the daily price action. We may see the price to break this daily high and then to reject back again potentially. So we will be looking to see how the price potentially react to that level, and it's a very strong bounce to the daily high. Is making that way back to the upside further. Yeah, there will be an effect of the data on gold, and as you can see, the market is showing that potentially break this daily high. So there is a probability for the market to break this daily high here, and possibly to break that high, or even moving back up further. This is the 4-hour price action. It's completely broken that trend line, and maybe highly likely the data coming up is very surprising again after the NFP. That has broken the level completely to the upside here on the daily. So without breaking the previous daily low, the market has completely moved back to the upside. So we might see the price to break that high entirely to the upside to create a new higher high. So this market structure may continue to rise to this daily level. So if we look at in that area, so we are looking to see the 20 minutes in 20 minutes time data to come up now here. At the same time, the market has extended back to the upside with this single move, and it is also the daily resistance line where the market is approaching this daily resistance. We could see the price to reject from this daily resistance again back to the downside, or this is the weekly level. You can see from this weekly support level the price just rejected back again without breaking that low. So we see that the market didn't test this weekly low. Before breaking that low, it reverted back to the upside here, and that's one very long move, which is very unusual to see the price move that bigger move. Is highly likely that the ISM service PMI coming could be very surprising, like the NFP that we have seen past week, and that move we are seeing is potentially going to break that high on the daily. And with this daily high, if the price is breaking that daily high, the market most likely to again reject back below, as this daily high is where there is a today's high, previous daily high. If both level is broken, we might see the market to trend back again in that zone. So here we will be waiting to see the data to come up and then to find that entry again in the direction. Here is the price crossed over from 10 and 20 MA. And with this crossover of this EMS, if you look at the 5 minutes here, the same way the market has crossed that. So the price just opened here on the 5 minutes with candle close. It has broken back below and then rejected back again to the upside. Another order block here that it had tested. We have 20 minutes to go for the data to come up. Is the market to break the low again? It's on a trend line. And this trend line that you can see a very bigger move back to the upside in this trend line. Now we have 15 minutes to go for the news to come up, and it is good idea is to wait for the data to show up. In fact, what's the surprise waiting, and then we'll be able to see is this a fake move back to the upside or it's starting a new a trend back again to the major direction. In that case, from the weekly, if we see the data is surprising, we might see the market to again go ahead and hit that weekly high, this resistance, and potentially to start uptrend back again in the direction. So from the 4 hour that you can see a bullish engulfer in that area, and 5 minutes, see that price action. Okay, here it's grabbing liquidity on the top, so that might be potentially a move back below here before the news. Is an extension. So maybe we might see another test of this support. Now before the news, we need to wait for the market to rearrange for another entry. That being said, we'll be waiting for the market to show up with the news coming up with ISM service PMI, and we have 10 minutes to go for the news to come up. Once we see the data, if it isn't surprising, we could see the market to drop again to the daily low here, or if the data is coming like the surprising with NFP, we may see the market again to trend in the major direction. Here is the low here on this, and that is a key area here. We have 10 minutes to go for the data to come up on this instrument. Until the data, the market might move in a sideways because the price, the market may not be able to make a clear direction before the data, as it's an important news. And with this information, the market might return back again to the daily low, to today's low, or we might see that continuation back to the upside. So looking here for that market, 5-minute chart forming a couple of dojis here. We have 10 minutes to go for the data to come up, and before this data, we see the price is slowly trying to build that pressure in that area. So the way the market structure is forming here in this lower time frame, the consolidation pattern that you can see, a smaller candlestick pattern, we could see the price to potentially what I think the price with the spike could come back here and then to return. There is one probability if the market remain bullish here in this zone, as higher time frame is showing that potential bullish. We still have 7 minutes to go for this candle to close and the new price action to form. What do you think with the news coming up? What's your view on the upcoming data? Do you think that it's gonna be blowing back to the upside, breaking back to the upside, or coming back again to this support level? Share your thought and opinion for the news, as this 4-hour candle now showing a very sharp rejection from this daily support, and or it's gonna again come back for another retest and then to go back up. Both scenario possible, as from the daily that we can see, this is the daily price action where today's high is here to this level, and after cross of this daily high we might see the market to come back here to this support. If we look at the weekly here, same way from the 1 hour, also you can see the market may potentially return back. Here is the market, you can see it's trying to break that low. It may come back here to this support here to retest before the news, and may just continue to move. We saw that 15 minutes price action, the price just has gone to exactly to the zone and then coming back again to this order block. So there is a crossover again. On the other hand, Gbpjpy is still trending to the direction of the trend, where this is an important level on GJ that you can see, which is forming that series of higher low. Gbpjpy potentially to be going back to this intraday resistance line where there is a liquidity, and then could come back here on GJ. While you can see that on gold is from this zone has broken back below, and it may continue to trend here to this support level. So we are having 4 minutes to go for the data to come up, and 15 minutes, a long bearish engulfer formation here in that area. And we are seeing the price crossing that 10 EMA on the 5 minutes again, moving back up with the news. It may completely break below to this daily low, or if we see that it started to bounce again, that means that continuing with this trend, we might see the price ultimately to break this high here, 3385. So ISM service PMI is going to show potential direction later. In this session also we'll be able to see what kind of movement the market might be giving. 2 more candles to form on the 1 minute chart. Let's wait to see how the market structure has evolved. Here is the 1 minute price action that you can see potentially showing a reversal pattern here. Now the time frame is important because we see that one time frame is bullish, the other time frame is bearish, depending on, I think it will go up. Look, the 1 minute chart that you can see here, this is, you can see consolidation, breakdown, going up, retest this support and resistance, forming a narrow pin bar, and then the price slowly trying to come back here to this support level. Got a spike and got a spike back to the upside here, and for our and the 15 minutes we can see the market is trending. As I mentioned, this is the surprise of this data. Okay, so with the ADP, with the non-farm employment change, not ADP, non-farm employment change, well down, that has given a momentum on gold. ISM service PMI also showing bearish move on potentially on DXY. You can see the market is showing that bearish move on DXY, and because it's bearish after the NFP, also you can see that the other data coming to be negative. DXY remaining potentially showing bearish after yesterday's doji. And that being said, on Xauusd potentially showing the opposite reflection. So basically the market to possibly to remain bullish here as the mirror of DXY. So looking for entry on the 15 minutes, we can see that this is where the market has made its initial move back to the upside. Look at the 1 minute here and 5 minutes. The price is almost to the 5 minute support level. And that drop that you can see on gold, it's possibly, you can see this is the 15 minutes where the market just tested that low So this is the 15 minutes price action where there's a bounce back to the upside. Okay guys, so hope that the sound is guys can see and hear. It's working well. We are almost there in that area. Then the market trend here is bullish, and in that bullish market structure, the price is showing that upside momentum. This is the 10 EMA, and here we can see that the price possibly to we see that there is a sideways movement at the moment. And as if you look at the 1 hour price action, this is the 1 hour support, as the market has gone back up with the data. So from this 1 hour support is where this is the 15 minutes price action, and I think that's where we can look for an entry opportunity very soon, as the 15 minutes candle closing potentially creating a series of higher low, and that's where an important support level, and the market trend is showing that bullish pattern. From this 15 minutes support level, the price started to move back to the upside, and with the break of this low here, if you look at 15 minutes, you can see the price is trying to break that low here, which is, if you look at here, you can see series of higher low, and as the 15 minutes candle closing, but I think this is an important zone that we can look for potential entry with I will be placing here for this potential upside bias, and not entering yet, looking for potential zone that we might see an entry. Once I am going to fully entering, I will be giving you a shout out that how the market I'm going to enter, as the market is in that area. If you look at here, you can see it cross the previous one's low, and that is where from the 5 minutes chart it's consolidating. It might break this low here, and looking at the 15 minutes and the 1 hour 1 minute, it just has crossed that low. The price ultimately could break this 3369. Okay, it's overextended in that direction. I'm still not entering, just looking to see what it takes for an entry. If we look at that 48, 49 pip potential stop loss, and if we keep our entry in this area, we could be able to find a position once the market is being able to pull back further in that area. I'm still not entering. The 50 minutes closing coming, and that 15 minutes candle that you can see from the 30 minutes, From the 1 hour, we might see this as an inverted head and shoulder and then returning back up, or this move here, resistance retest, and then coming back down. It's getting rejection again on the 1 minute, and we see liquidity grab multiple times. Okay, so you see that 15 minutes got the rejection back above, and as the market is trying to push back to the upside, and I think possibility for the 4-hour support to be tested is higher. We may see little more bearish drop before it bounce back to the upside. The market is still not what I think, that not fully prepared for a breakout, but if you look at the 4-hour closed with a bullish engulfer, it's showing that the market ultimately will move back to the upside potentially, but it might need more liquidity. That means crossing any of these candles low. If you look at the 15 minutes, we can see that dodgy formation trying to bounce back up. So the possibility for the market to remain bullish is higher, and I think the price continue to rise. For an entry, we want to see that, you see this is the 5 minutes structure. It's a bull flag here that you can see, and that bull flag would like to see crossing back, especially this support, and then to trend again to the upside. If this bull flag breaking back below here, we will be looking into the entry. Until that, I'm watching the price action. We're almost at the end of this session. I'll see you again, guys, very soon in next live coming tomorrow twice on London session as well as NY session, and any trade coming early today. We had also entry in London session. Now this session, I'm looking at again another entry shortly after, once we see the price action confirmation. And in the meantime, going out of the live session, I will see you again very soon trading live together. Until that, stay well, stay happy.